Everyone at the party believed they knew the perfect American family. Luxury clothes, elite smiles, powerful connections. But no one knew the quiet girl standing near the window was the biggest secret they had ever hidden. She was kept invisible, erased from family photos, never mentioned in elite circles, because her existence threatened their image. That night, one mistake, one recognition, one whispered name, turned champagne into silence, and exposed a truth so shocking that it destroyed reputations, broke alliances, and changed her life forever. This is the story of a USA girl they tried to erase, until one party changed everything forever. Her name was Emily Carter. She was born in a small American town where mornings smelled like coffee and old books. Emily was not born into poverty, but she was not born into privilege either. Her father worked long hours and her mother taught in a public school. They raised Emily with values, not connections, with honesty, not influence. Emily was brilliant, quiet, observant. She noticed things others ignored. She understood emotions before words. By the time she turned 18, she earned a scholarship to a respected university. Not elite, but respectable. She studied behavioral science. She wanted to understand why people hide who they truly are. Emily had an older brother named Daniel. Daniel was everything society admired. Tall, confident, ambitious. He chased power like oxygen. He studied finance, built connections, and married into an elite American family. The Williams family was known across states. Old money, political ties, luxury homes, charity galas, private schools. They controlled perception better than businesses. Daniel married their daughter Sophia. Beautiful, polished, raised to smile on command. The wedding was extravagant. Media covered it. But Emily was not there. Not because she did not want to attend. Because Daniel asked her not to. He told her it was complicated. He said the family was sensitive about image. He promised it was temporary, just until things settled. Emily believed him because she trusted her brother. She always had. After the wedding, Daniel changed. His calls became rare. His visits stopped. And when Emily asked about meeting his new family, he avoided the subject. Slowly, Emily realized the truth. She was the secret. The Williams family believed Emily did not fit their image. She was too simple, too quiet, too normal. They feared her background could weaken their elite narrative. Daniel chose silence over honesty, ambition over blood. Emily moved to the city for work. She built a quiet life, a small apartment, a stable job. No luxury, but dignity. She watched Daniel from afar, his face in magazines, his name in business articles, his life filled with champagne smiles. And she stayed invisible. Years passed. Emily grew stronger, more self-aware. She understood how power manipulates shame. She never confronted Daniel. She never begged. She chose growth. One evening, Emily received an unexpected invitation. A corporate event, hosted by a psychology research foundation, held at a luxury estate. She almost declined, until she read the location. It was hosted at the Williams family private residence. Emily hesitated. Fate felt heavy. But something inside her said go. She did not go to expose anyone. She did not go for revenge. She went because she no longer feared being seen. She bought a simple, elegant dress. Not expensive, but confident. The night of the party, the estate glowed with lights. Luxury cars lined the entrance. Elite guests laughed without listening. Emily stepped inside unnoticed, until a woman froze mid-sentence. Her eyes locked on Emily. Her face drained of color. She whispered one word. Carter. The whisper moved faster than sound. Emily felt it before she heard it. Eyes turning. Voices slowing. Laughter losing rhythm. The woman who recognized her was Margaret Williams, the matriarch, the architect of image. A woman trained to never show surprise. But this time she failed. Margaret had seen Emily years ago. In an old family file Daniel once showed during negotiations. A harmless background check. A sister from a modest life. Someone to be hidden. Emily stood still. Her posture calm. Her expression unreadable. Margaret recovered quickly. She smiled. But the smile was sharp. She approached Emily with controlled grace. Introduced herself as if meeting a stranger. Her voice smooth. Her eyes calculating. Emily replied politely. Her tone steady. Her confidence quiet but firm. Around them conversations resumed. But tension lingered. Margaret excused herself and disappeared into the crowd. Minutes later Daniel arrived. He stopped walking the moment he saw Emily. Time slowed. His face shifted through fear, guilt, disbelief. Emily watched him. Not angry. Not emotional. Just observant. Daniel approached her. His voice slow. Urgent. He asked why she was there. Emily answered calmly. She said she was invited. She said she worked here. She said she belonged. That word hurt him. Belonged. Daniel glanced around nervously. He begged her to leave. Said this was not the right place. Not the right time. Emily looked at her brother. The man who once protected her. Now afraid of her presence. She asked one question. Why was she a problem? Daniel could not answer. Sophia appeared beside him. Elegant. Perfectly styled. Her eyes studied Emily like a threat. Margaret returned. She invited Emily to a private room. Daniel tried to intervene. Margaret silenced him with a glance. The room was quiet. Cold. Decorated with achievements. Margaret spoke honestly for the first time. She said Emily was not what the family wanted associated with them. She said appearances mattered. She said power demanded sacrifice. Emily listened. Then she spoke. She said she did not come to claim anything. She did not want money, status, or apology. She said she came because she no longer accepted being erased. Margaret warned her. Told her exposure had consequences. Emily smiled softly. She said truth always did. At that moment the host announced a presentation. Emily was called to the stage. Daniel froze. Margaret realized too late. Emily was not a guest. She was the keynote researcher. As Emily walked toward the stage, whispers turned into curiosity. Then confusion. Her presentation began. Her research focused on elite identity control, family image manipulation, psychological damage caused by hidden relationships. The room grew silent. Examples felt personal, uncomfortable. Emily spoke without accusation, without names. But every word mirrored the Williams family reality. Margaret sat stiff. Sophia avoided eye contact. Daniel stared at the floor. Emily finished to thunderous applause. She stepped down. Her presence undeniable. Journalists approached. Executives praised her work. Connections formed instantly. Emily did not look back. But the damage was done. Elite walls had cracked. Secrets never survive the light. The party ended, but the tension did not. By morning, the silence around the Williams family felt louder than any scandal. Private calls were made. Damage control meetings happened behind closed doors. Public relations teams searched for threats. They did not search far. Emily Carter. Her name appeared in academic circles, research journals, professional conferences. But now it carried something else. Curiosity. People started connecting patterns. The keynote. The family resemblance. The brother whose name matched hers. Daniel felt the walls closing in. For years he believed hiding Emily was protection. Now he realized it was fear. Sophia confronted him. Her calm voice masked panic. She asked why she never knew about Emily. Why the family hid her. Daniel admitted the truth. He said he chose ambition. Sophia heard betrayal. Margaret watched everything unravel. Her influence relied on control. And control was slipping. She arranged a private meeting with Emily. Emily agreed. They met in a quiet cafe. No luxury. No power symbols. Margaret arrived prepared. Apologies scripted. Offers ready. She offered Emily a position. A foundation grant. Financial security. Emily listened. Then declined. She said respect could not be bought. And silence was not for sale. Margaret warned her again. Told her elite families do not fall quietly. Emily replied calmly. She said she was not attacking. She was existing. Meanwhile, journalists uncovered more. Old interviews. Background stories. Connections. The narrative shifted. From scandal to sympathy. A brilliant American woman hidden by her own brother. To protect elite in-law's image. Public opinion turned. Daniel tried to speak to Emily alone. They met at a park from childhood. He apologized. His voice cracked. He said he was ashamed. Emily listened. She told him forgiveness required accountability, not regret. She said he did not hide her to protect her. He hid her to protect himself. Daniel had no defense. The Williams family faced consequences. Invitations stopped. Partnerships paused. Whispers replaced admiration. Sophia began questioning her marriage. She saw the family cruelty clearly. Emily received offers, book deals, speaking engagements, academic leadership roles. Her life expanded rapidly, but she remained grounded. One night, Emily received a message. Anonymous. Short. You think this is over? She stared at the screen. Her heart steady. She replied nothing, because she knew. Truth had already won. The anonymous message did not scare Emily. It confirmed what she already knew. Power never lets go without a fight. Within days, subtle attacks began. Invitations quietly withdrawn. Sponsors delaying payments. Rumors whispered behind professional smiles. Emily noticed patterns. Not panic. She documented everything. Dates. Emails. Changes in tone. Years of studying human behavior had prepared her for this moment. Margaret moved carefully. Never directly. Always through intermediaries. She contacted universities. Suggested Emily was controversial, unstable, attention-seeking. But truth leaves a different trail. Several institutions defended Emily. Her work was too solid. Her reputation too clean. The pressure shifted. Sophia made a choice. She requested a separation from Daniel. Not publicly. Not dramatically. Privately. Decisively. She told him she could not be part of a family that erased people. Daniel lost more than status. He lost identity. The Williams family fractured. Internal blame replaced unity. Margaret faced resistance she never expected. Board members questioned her judgment. Donors hesitated. The matriarch was no longer untouchable. Emily prepared for her biggest speech yet. A National Behavioral Science Summit. Televised. Live-streamed. Margaret knew the risk. She attempted one last move. A private conversation. A rare vulnerability. She admitted fear. She admitted obsession with control. She admitted regret. Emily listened. Then she said something Margaret would never forget. She said power that requires hiding truth is already weak. The summit began. Emily spoke about identity, family, visibility. She shared a personal story. Not names. Not accusations. A sister hidden. A voice denied. Millions listened. Silence followed. Then applause. That night headlines changed. Not scandal. Reckoning. Margaret resigned from 2 boards. Quietly. Daniel stepped away from public life. Sophia filed for divorce. Emily returned home alone. Exhausted. Peaceful. She looked at her reflection. No longer invisible. But the story was not finished. One final moment remained. The morning after the summit, Emily woke to quiet. Not the kind that feels empty. The kind that feels complete. Messages filled her phone. Support. Gratitude. Stories from people who had been hidden. Silenced. Erased. Emily realized her voice was no longer just hers. Weeks passed. The world moved forward. But something unresolved remained. Daniel reached out one last time. Not for forgiveness. They met in the same park again. Leaves falling. Time circling back. Daniel looked smaller. Stripped of titles. Of illusion. He told Emily he finally understood. That hiding her destroyed him too. He said he did not expect forgiveness, only acknowledgement. Emily took a long breath. She told him she had already mourned the brother she lost years ago. But she also told him something unexpected. She said redemption begins when silence ends. Daniel nodded, tears finally falling. They parted without promises. Emily continued her work, founded a program for invisible voices, people hidden by families, communities, systems. Her story became case study, then movement. Margaret moved into obscurity, her empire reduced to memory. Sophia rebuilt her life quietly, free. One evening, Emily attended a small gathering. Nothing elite, nothing curated, just real people. A young woman approached her, nervous, hopeful. She said, "I thought being hidden meant I was nothing. Until I heard you." Emily smiled. She realized the party that changed everything was never about exposure. It was about permission. Permission to exist, to be seen, to take space. Emily Carter was no longer a secret. She was proof. And somewhere in the distance, a world built on silence listened.